Hello. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Diane Forrest's 91st birthday show. 91. It's absolutely incredible. It's really inspiring, and it's especially inspiring for people like us who work with her, because she's just so ambitious. She still wants her career to go places, you know? You probably know that she's in the Guinness Book of World Records as the world's oldest working female stand-up. Okay, but that's not enough for Diane. That's not enough. She said, no, I want the outright record as the oldest working stand-up, period. So she said to me, contact them, tell them. So I contacted Guinness, and they refused. Yeah, they say for age-related records, they divide it up into genders. So they've got the world's oldest male comedian and the world's oldest female comedian. Okay, so when I told Diane this, she was furious. She said, that's BS. And she actually used the words BS because in real life, she doesn't use bad language at all. She only does it on stage so that you can enjoy it. She says, that's BS. She says, only 2 genders? What are they talking about? And she says they're going to get in big trouble for that. So she just decided to ignore them. Guinness have their idea of what a world record is. Diane has her idea. That's it. That's Diane for you. She can be quite a combative, provocative lady. When Diane and I first sat down in Paris at the beginning of the year to talk about what kind of show she wanted to put on this year, she said, I want something new. I want something challenging. I want something provocative, right? Basically, she is a 21-year-old punk rocker in a 91-year-old body. And so the show, you've read the title of the show. It is a bit provocative. But I want to reassure you, because the important thing about Diane is whatever provocation is going on elsewhere in the world, Diane is all about love. Okay? She just wants everyone to love everyone else. And if you've seen any of her previous shows, she spent several years in France in swingers clubs, literally loving everyone else. So she knows what she's talking about. So tonight is going to be her birthday party, but it's also going to be a big love-in. So what I'd like you to do is show some real New York love as you welcome to the stage the fantastic, the inspiring Miss Diane Forrest. Maybe a bit more love, a bit more love. Diane Forrest. Diane.
She was just outside the curtains.
Diane, she's not there now.
What? Could you open that door, please?
Can you have a look in the corridor? There's a little. Can you just have a look?
Yeah.
Is she there? If she's not there, tell her to come to the stage door. No? There is security around the building. She can't escape, can she? No? Well, Diane, if you can hear me, where are you? Diane, where are you?
I'm here.
Where? No, Diane, thank God. We thought we were worried. We thought that,
I wanted to surprise you. What, I wouldn't show up? Oh, no, on a show night, no way, I'm going to be here. I wanted to surprise you with some things I got up my sleeve. I might be 91. See, I thought it was 81. I might be 91, but I still have some new stuff up my sleeve. Oh, hello. Hello. Hey, after the show, I'll show you some new stuff, okay? Stephen, come down here and pick me up. When trumpets were mellow and every gal only had one fellow, no need to remember when everything old is new again. Dancing at your Long Island jazz age parties. Hey, waiter, bring me some more Bacardi. No need, remember when everything old is new again. Bring out your white tails, your tap shoes. I'm gonna be here for everyone. Don't throw the past away. Yeah, you might need it some rainy day. Dreams can come true again, 'cause everything old is new again. And this old broad is new again, since I met all you folks again. Thank you, thank you. Get out your white suit, your tap shoes and tails. Let's go backwards when all else fails. But leave Greta Garbo alone. Be a movie star on your own. Don't throw the past away. You might need it some rainy day. Dreams can come true again, 'cause everything old is new again. This old broad is new again, since I met you folks here again. Woo! 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 Well, thank you. Thank you. Oh, bonsoir. Hello, everybody. Oh, I just wanted to introduce Stephen, one of my writers. He's from Britain, Paris. And then we got here my pianist, Dan Furman. And then Eric is wandering around somewhere. Where are you, Eric? Oh, God. There he is. All right. Thank you. How else do you get on stage on July 31st? So thank you, guys. You know, I'm so glad to be here. Oops, I forgot a drink. On my 91st birthday. And I think, I'm 91 years old, and as you know, I like to put out my age right away in case I don't make it through the show. And, these days, everybody asks me the same thing. Dion, at this age, don't you want to travel and take it easy? Why are you still working at age 91? Well, obviously, I'm still paying back my student loans. And the bank's getting pushy. They keep saying to me, hey, don't you want to make payments twice a month? Won't that make you feel good? No. What makes one feel good at this age is a nice, relaxing blood transfusion. That and a mani-pedi, and I'm a new woman. Yeah, well, I'm in great shape. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but I'm a lot less flexible than I used to be. Hell, I haven't been able to do 69 since I was 69. Oh, the best I can manage for you, 66. And then I'm going to owe you 3 with interest. Here is where I left my Guinness Book of Records. I'm still the oldest world record holder, and you can see it. There's my picture. Page 197. Look. Yeah. And by the way, I'm not going anywhere. Yeah. People always ask me, what's sex like in your 90s? Well, I say, what's sex? Well, at this age, the real problem is short-term memory. At this age, the real problem is short-term memory. Which reminds me that, well, I have something to tell you. This year, on my birthday, I've decided to completely expose myself. Oh, no. I'm not taking off my clothes in front of the public. I've already done that many times already. Well, hasn't everybody? No. Tonight, I'm going to tell you the whole shocking truth about myself, about something secret that I've been doing my whole life, and that something is I'm Jewish. You'd never guess, right? Happy Hanukkah! Did you see it? $46 at Amazon. Yeah. Well, I couldn't have picked a worse time to reveal the true me. And as they say in Yiddish, come out, I'm ready. I grew up at a time when life was difficult for Jews. And it's the same in the political climate today. When leaders were decent, if I recall, it was kind of recent, but we return to those days back when it's too tough to be a Jew again. Them racists on Twitter forgot the Nazi deaths, the hate so bitter, never again did not last long. Anti-Semitism's breaking up my song. If uninformed is the best you can do, go backwards, get used to the view. Old lies and slurs I thought long dead are back again in people's heads. Don't throw my passport away, I might need it some rainy day. The past is coming true again, and it's tough to be a Jew again, 'cause old-fashioned hate is new again. Well, let me explain. I Woo! Okay, here. Woo! Well, I'll do that more often. I am explaining the title of the show, which is a gefilte fish out of water. And you know what gefilte fish is, right? Right? It's fish chopped up, and then it's mixed up with poached with matzah meal, right? Well, I was born a Jewish girl named Diana Schulman, and I've been poached over 91 years. And as most of you know, I'm pretty mixed up too. Gefilte fish is served with chrein. You got it? Chrein, yes, which is a hot horseradish sauce, right? You knew that, right? No. Yeah, good. And, well, as you know, I'm quite hot myself. So when I was a little gefilte fish in Boston, I grew up in a traditional Catholic suburb, and at an early age, I started feeling different from nearly everyone I knew. And I felt that lots of people in our neighborhood didn't like me. I was a little gefilte fish out of water. And now, folks, in 2025, that feeling has returned. It's making a comeback. And I think I know why. It's because anti-Semitism can be fun. Why do you think the Nazis did nothing else for 20 years? They had a blast.
Time for a song.
No, it's not. I'm talking about the Nazis. All right, I get it. You think I shouldn't say anything edgy, provocative things out loud. But I didn't start this. Hitler did.
Baby face, you got the cutest little...
Okay. Forget Hitler, if we could. But tonight there's going to be plenty of songs and everything.
You got the cutest little baby.
Oh my gosh. What a perfect infant I was, huh? I won the Beautiful Baby contest, and I even won the contest where I was voted cuter than baby Jesus. He was the only other Jew in the contest. Well, I was born in 1934, and of all the people born that year, less than 1% are still alive. Yeah. So on top of everything else, I'm an endangered species. Good audience. Well, wasn't I adorable there? I was innocent. I looked so good, content there. You know, when this photo was taken, I had no idea what Jewish was or that I had it. Well, we weren't Orthodox in any way. We were trying to be just middle-class Americans and the land of the free and the brave, where all people are created equal, right? If you don't believe me, just ask all the folks who were deported in the last 10 minutes. Yeah. My father was a lawyer, and like all the other lawyers in Boston, he bought a house in Newton, a very comfortable suburb. And he wanted us to fit in, so he bought a nice big American car, a Dodge. This was right after the war. One day, he was out front in his driveway, washing his big American car and keeping it up to the tone of the suburb and the neighborhood, when one of the neighbors came over, Miss Hanrahan, and my father said, "Hello, how are you?" And she said, "Oh, very well, Mr. Schulman, but I just wanted to tell you, we don't wash our cars on Sunday." My father carried on, sponging the hood. He says, "Oh, well, when do you wash yours?" And she said, "I mean, please stop washing your car. It's the Sabbath." Of course, she meant her Sabbath, the Christian Sabbath. And he said, "Miss Hanrahan, do you really think that God, who has the whole universe to look over, you think he really cares when we wash our cars? And even if it does say that in the Bible, that you can't wash a car on a Sunday, it must be in the New Testament, and I'm Jewish, and I don't know the New Testament. We worship the Old Testament." Of course, he didn't say that at all. He wanted to fit in. So he stopped washing his car, but he was upset, and he came in. One of our neighbors, who we thought we were friends, had just told him that the neighborhood didn't like his behavior and didn't want to see it. So he started telling my mother what happened. And I was a little kid, and I said, "We're Jewish? What does that mean?" And he said, right now, it means the car stays dirty. Anyway, from then on, he always washed the car on a Saturday, just like God wanted. When I was about 5 years old, my mother tried to explain to me why I couldn't celebrate Christmas. I knew I was Jewish, but I also knew that everybody in the other house, they had Christmas trees, and I wanted one too. And my mother told me, no, we're Jewish, Diana. We don't celebrate Christmas. There was that word again, Jewish. My father said, it's okay. I'm sure God won't mind if we get a Christmas tree. He doesn't care, he said, about buying trees, just washing cars. And my father bought the biggest, greenest Christmas tree that he could find. And it was so big he couldn't fit it in the trunk. And he didn't want to put it on the roof because some of his Jewish clients would see him with a Christmas tree. So he tied it underneath the car and drove home very slow so as not to damage the tree or his muffler. We put it up in the living room. The trouble was that my Jewish religious grandparents were coming over for dinner, so we had to schlep the Christmas tree upstairs and hide it in my bedroom. Perfect. Until my grandma said, Diana, what are you learning in music school? You didn't have to ask me twice. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. What followed was anything, thank you, but heavenly peace. My grandmother stood up and said, we have to leave. And whatever my grandmother said, my grandfather did. I had no idea what I had done. And I said, Ma, well, my mother screamed at me, singing about the Virgin, they. I said, is it worse than washing the car? Well, when I got a bit older, I saw lots of kids playing tennis, and I wanted to try it. And there was a club right in the middle of town, and my mother said, no, I couldn't play there because the tennis club was restricted. Restricted? What's that? She said, they don't accept Jews. Yeah. My dad was furious. He said, why not? Are they scared if the umpire calls out deuce, we'll think he's saying Jews? Mother didn't think that was funny. She said, if I wanted to play some tennis, we should get out of the city and go to a vacation resort. But my dad said, they're all closed to Jews. They're WASP resorts. My mother said, don't the WASPs want Jews to play sports? Maybe they think we'll get all the Olympic medals. I was too young to understand it all. But, I began to get an uncomfortable feeling. Why was I Jewish? I were a Christian. Yabba dibba 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 dum. All day long I'd biddy biddy bum. If I were a Christian girl, I could play some tennis. Yabba dibba 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 dum. If I were a bitty bitty rich, yiddle diddle diddle Christian girl, I'd join a tennis club with courts by the dozen right in the middle of my town. Vine grass courts where the smartest folks do play. I'd wear a bright white skirt and sneakers to match, and my hair softly braided in a crown. And all of the waspy members would say, hey, I'd win a doubles tournament with a wasp, and all of the membership would cheer, calling me the best player in the world. And all of the heys and the wows and the yays would land like a trumpet on my ear, as if to say, yes, she's a waspy girl. If I were a Christian, yabba dibba 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 dum, all day long I'd biddy biddy bum. If I were a Protestant, I'd be great at tennis. Yabba dibba 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 dum. If I were a bitty bitty rich, yiddle diddle Christian. You know, people, why don't you sing with me? Okay, you can. Yeah, can you do it? Yabba dibba dibba dibba. You got it? Yabba dibba 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 dibba. There are 7 dibbas. I'll just. Even I don't get them. Are you ready? Come on, everybody. If I were a Christian, yabba dibba 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 dum. All day long I'd biddy biddy bum. If I were a Protestant, I'd be great at tennis. I'd be great at tennis. Yabba dibba 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 dum. If I were a bitty bitty rich, yiddle diddle Christian. Lord, who made the lion and the lamb, you decreed I should be what I am. Does it spoil some vast eternal plan? If I were a Christian, woo! Woo! Oh gosh. So, excuse me, it's a lot of work for me. I am 91, and you know, just understand. Okay. So, we couldn't go to the tennis club. But during the Second World War, some Jews founded summer resorts in the Catskills. At last, people could drive out of the city, stay in a cabin on a lake, and no one would tell people like me I wasn't allowed to play tennis. After the war, when we learned what happened to the Jews in Germany, Poland, and the Nazi-occupied countries, we were devastated. But we realized we were only forbidden to go on vacation with WASPs and Catholics. We were the lucky Jews. My mother gave me this photo. And I said, I don't remember having a teddy bear like that or a toy dog. And she said, no, Diana, that's not you. That's one of your cousins in Latvia, or that was one of your cousins. She was exactly the same age as you, but she's gone now. And I said to Ma, what do you mean gone? Well, before the war, my mother had dozens of cousins and aunts and uncles in Riga, Latvia. And after the war, she tried to contact them. They were all gone. Yes, you see, in America, we were the lucky Jews. Oh, I'm a teenager already. That song makes me think of bar mitzvahs. The lyrics are great. Maybe you know it. Avenu shalom aleichem. Avenu shalom aleichem. Avenu shalom aleichem. Avenu shalom, shalom, shalom again. Avenu shalom aleichem. Avenu shalom aleichem. Avenu shalom aleichem. Avenu shalom, shalom, shalom aleichem. Not repetitive at all. It means we come to greet you in peace. And whenever I hear that song, well, it takes me back to my brother's bar mitzvah. And we had the big party at home after the service, and lots of cash he got and presents. It was fantastic. And it was at least something good about being a Jewish kid. He ended up with $100 cash and a new suit. And so I asked my parents, when is my bar mitzvah? And my mother said, you don't get a bar mitzvah. But why not, Ma? You're a girl. At that time, there were no bat mitzvahs for girls. So I was excluded from Jewish activities. I was excluded from non-Jewish activities like playing tennis. I was excluded from Jewish activities because I was a girl. And so I thought, this sucks. My big hope was that things would get better when I got to college. You know, my grades were excellent, and I was determined to get into a great school, and I wanted to go to Dartmouth. Well, it was a fantastic school, and I'd heard they took Jews, and they did, just not female Jews. I thought, this sucks even more. Then I heard about another great school, Middlebury. It was up in Vermont, and they accepted Jews, male and female, and they accepted me. And the people in Boston couldn't believe it, and neither could I. And I found out later that my father had met a trustee of Middlebury at a pipe smokers conference. He'd given the guy some free legal advice, and voila, I was accepted. Yeah, and that's why I never judge smokers. Tobacco's what got me into college. So, in 1952, I went to Middlebury College in Vermont, a Presbyterian school founded in 1800 by the upper middle class. And it was like the Mayflower had just landed with a cargo of blondes. I was the only girl who was Jewish in the whole place, and I was the only non-blonde. be Jewish. I couldn't get into a sorority, and no guys wanted to date a brunette. I phoned my mother and I told her I wanted to come home. And she said, don't give up, Diana. Show people what you can do. You can sing, join the choir. So I met with the choir director, Monsieur Berger, who was French, and he asked me to sing a song. All right, if I were a Christian, yeah. And he stopped me and he said, no. I want to hear your legitimate voice. So he took out a book of old songs and he pointed in one. And I said, I can't do that, it's too high. And he said, just try. Bring to me only with thine eyes, and I will pledge with mine. Or leave a kiss within the cup, and I'll not ask for wine. You know, that was 70 years ago at Middlebury, and I had never heard my voice like that. It was high and clear and loud, you know, just like, oh yeah, an orgasm. Oh, but I hadn't had one yet. It wasn't until after my first marriage. But more about that later. The thirst from the soul doth rise, doth ask a drink divine. But might I of Jove's nectar sip, I would not change for thine. He said, magnifique, you're in the church choir. I said, the church choir? I don't think I can, Monsieur Berger. Well, why not? I'm Jewish. Oh, he said. He came over and he said, I'm Jewish too. My real name is Burger. But don't tell anyone. Well, the choir sang in chapel every day, and, you know, I wasn't sure if that was all right, so I called my mother, and I said, Ma, I got into the choir. Is it okay for me to sing Christian hymns? And she said, no problem, Diana. Just hum when they sing about Jesus. Don't sing any Christian words. You can sing about God all you want, but don't mention anything in the New Testament. Just hum. Well, some songs were simple. We wish you a merry, we wish merry, we wish you a merry, and a happy new year. I'm not kidding. Everybody, sing with me. We wish you a merry, we wish you a merry, we wish you merry, and a happy new year. Well, then, some songs were a bit more complicated. Onward, soldiers marching as to war. You know that one? Come on, you got to know it. There's some people know. Are you ready, everybody? Onward, so watch what you say. Marching as to war with the cross of... I don't hear you. Marching. What kind of Christians are you? Well, you know, I called up Ma. I said, Ma, is it all right to say cross? And she said, La Crosse? I said, no, Ma, the cross. And the crucifixion. Oh, she said, no, never. Okay, Ma. It was Osprey on the, well, whatever it was. Ixnay on the Osprey. You know Pig Latin? I don't know. It's the guy who wrote it knows it. Okay. Are we ready, everybody, with the Ixnay on the cross and everything else? That's how I got through college. Okay. Onward, soldiers marching as to war with the going on before. Bravo! Well, that was every day for the next 3 years. Yes, and it was terrific because I could hide my Jewishness by humming. If only real life was that simple. Well, not to mention, I thought that singing in the church choir would attract some guys, choir groupies. I still wasn't getting any dates. And then I met a friendly guy named Eddie Moline, and he said he was Jewish, and he was feeling the same way I was, uninvited to anything fun. He said, we can create our own social life. We'll start a Hillel. And I said, what the Hillel is that? He explained it was a group on campus for young Jewish students. But all we had to do was find the other Jews in Middlebury. And he said the dean had a list. Yes, the college kept a Jew file. Turned out there were 10 of us, a minion. You know what a minion is? It means 10 in Jewish, I think, or Hebrew, one of those languages. You know, sorry. Okay. But you got to explain things to people. Okay. So one of the guys on the list was the editor of the newspaper who refused to join our group. And he said, I came here not to be Jewish. And I said, me too. How's that working for you? In the end, we got 8 members, and I was elected president. But I still didn't get to date anyone. All the Christian boys wanted to date blondes, and all the Jewish boys wanted to date shiksas. Do you know what a shiksa is? See, I know. It means what? Not Jewish, right? Shiksa. It's a new word. You got to learn it. You live in New York. I was suffering from Christian envy. You know, after college, I wanted to go to law school. And Mother said, no. Men will think you're too smart, and no one will marry you. Her theory was, why waste time studying to be a lawyer when you can marry one? Boston. Well, my father found a suitable fiancé, a young lawyer named Erwin Cohen. And, well, in 1958, do we got him up there? Didn't have one with him. Yeah, I'll tell you. I know, yeah, that's what everybody asked me, don't. In 1958, I was engaged, and we were so innocent. I had never seen a grown man naked, and the one I imagined was not Erwin Cohen. I told my mother I didn't love him, and she said, you'll grow to love him. But Irwin Cohen turned out not to be a great husband. You see, he didn't know how to pleasure a woman, and that wouldn't matter ordinarily, except the woman was me. I once asked him if he knew what a clitoris was. He said, sure, it's that purple flower that climbs the fence. I said, that's a clematis, but at least you found it, honey. Well, things really got bad, and I went to my dad, and I said, please get me a divorce. And he said, Jews don't get divorced. So I found myself a non-Jewish lawyer, and I got divorced. I went to Paris, and where no one cared what religion I was or wasn't, because in Paris in the 60s, all they cared about was sex. I played piano and sang in cabaret clubs, and their religion there was Edith Piaf. I joined swingers clubs, and they accept everyone who took their clothes off. In Paris, they only asked 2 questions. 1, do you have your own apartment? And can we go there now? So after a year or so of paying for my own apartment, I was a very satisfied woman, but I was completely broke. So I needed to go home and get a job, and I went to see my uncle, and he was Lawrence Burke, the guy who founded the Berklee College of Music in Boston. Yeah. And he told me that as a young man, he was in a trio and played all over New England. And when they drove up to a hotel, there would often be a sign out front that said, no dogs or Jews allowed. Right. His real name was Lawrence Berkowitz, but he changed his name to Burke. And his philosophy was, as Burke, I get work. As Berkowitz, forgetowitz. He told me big cities were usually much more tolerant toward Jewish entertainers, so I came to New York and I found myself an agent. Isn't there a photo up there? Oh, there it is, yeah. Well, sorry, I thought I was pretty cute and sexy. I was using my real name, Diana Schulman. And the agent, he loved my playing and singing, but he said, if you want to be a full-time performer, you gotta look less ethnic. You gotta lose the nose. Well, I caught my mother crying, and she said, finally, I've been telling your father for years you needed a nose job. This will give you a second chance at a husband, too. So she paid $14,000 of stock and paid for this little schnoz. $14,000 back then, that's like $100,000 today. This thing is literally worth its weight in gold or cocaine. So as soon as the business had faded, I went back to see the agent. He said, oh, great nose. This is all true stories, I'll tell you. Now, the only problem is your name. You sing in French, so get a French name. So we changed Diana to Diane, and that sounded fancy, you know, with the apostrophe. And since Diana is goddess of the woods, Schulman became Forest. And Diane Forest, French chanteuse, was born. And I haven't changed a bit since. I mean, I still look exactly like I did in the 60s, right? I don't hear you agreeing with me. Say right. Thank you. You know how to talk to a lady who yells at you. Well, my manager told me that the biggest Jewish stars in show business all change their name. You know, Bob Dylan's real name was Bobby Zimmerman, and Woody Allen was Alan Koenigsberg, and Ralph Lauren was Ralph Lifshitz. Trust me, nobody wants a name with shits in it. You say Jerry Lewis, and I say Joseph Levitch. You say Kirk Douglas, and I say Sordanovich. Lewis, Levitch, Douglas, Danovich. Let's call them all new names. You say Lenny Bruce, and I say Leonard Schneider. You say Jon Stewart, and I say Jonathan Leibowitz. Bruce, Schneider, Stewart, Leibowitz. Let's call them Anglo names. Oh, if your heart desires wealth, success, and fame,
Boobala.
all you gotta do is ditch that Jewish name.
Shlomo.
He's not even Jewish. You say Joan Rivers, and I say Joan Malinsky. You say Natalie Portman, and I say Natalie Hirschlag. Yeah, can you believe it? No, I can't. Rivers, Malinsky, Portman, Hirschlag. Let's give them waspy names. White Anglo-Saxon names. Oh, if your heart desires wealth, success, and fame.
Yenta.
Oh, all you gotta do is ditch that shtetl name.
Meshuggah.
You say Tony Curtis, and I say Bernie Schwartz. You say Mel Brooks, and I say Melvin Kaminsky. Curtis, Schwartz, Brooks, Kaminsky. Let's give them all new names. Give them New Testament names. Woo! You're getting better. You're getting better. It took a while. Meshuggah. He knows, probably doesn't even know what it means. It's all right. Do you know what it means?
I think so.
Oh, God. Okay. Oh, then there's one more. Did you know that Jerry Seinfeld's real name is Patrick O'Shaughnessy? Did you get it? I didn't when I first. So, suddenly, thanks to my new little nose and my new name, my agent started getting me lots of work. And of course, in everyday life, when I wasn't on stage, I had to give my real name, and it didn't always open doors for me. You try joining a golf club in the 1980s in the Hamptons with a name like Schulman. Luckily, I eventually found a lovely club that accepted me. So for decades, I was living a double life. Diana in the daytime, Diane at night, Jewish at home, French at work. Luckily, these days, prejudice is on as bad as when I was young. The colleges all accept Jews, we hope. I can stay in any resort I want to, and car washes are open 7 days a week. But since October 7th, 2023, things have gotten complicated again. There are people out there who personally think that I am personally bombing Gaza and killing children, but I'm not. But that doesn't stop me from getting insults on Facebook about whatever Netanyahu is doing. For a while, I thought of running away, going somewhere safe like New Zealand. But then I realized something wonderful. It's that here in New York, I feel at home. I'm surrounded by friends, and like all you great people here tonight, thank you. And I'm free to be myself. I'm Dion Forrest, and I'm Diana Schulman, and there's no contradiction between the two. It's 100% me. Oh, except I can't get my old nose back. But I've grown fond of this no one, the smaller nose, my Ozempic nose. When I told my friends that I wanted to do a show about being Jewish, some of them said, "Are you sure this is the right time politically? I mean, how you gonna make it funny?" And then I told them a joke that I once heard Ricky Gervais tell. An Auschwitz survivor reaches a ripe old age, and then he dies and he goes to heaven. But when he gets there, he thinks, wow, this place is so boring. Everyone's just sitting around looking holy. So to liven things up, he tells a Holocaust joke. And God says, "I don't find that funny." And the survivor says, "I guess you had to be there." I didn't get it at the beginning also. It's okay. I'm sorry. You didn't hear that. So, where is God now? With all these wars going on, it's just no good. So it's driving me nuts. So I want you to sing along with this song that was written by another resident of New York during the Vietnam War. Dan, would you do it first?
All we are saying is give peace a chance.
Everybody come on, sing along.
All we are saying is give peace a chance.
Over here.
All we are saying is give peace a chance.
Everybody. All
we are saying is give peace a chance.
Easy to remember lyrics right. So how come so many world leaders forget them? Give peace a chance. All you need is love. This is all that I'm saying. Oh, well, before we wrap up this whole Christian Judeo Mishigas, you know Mishigas? I got to take you home while your wife's away. Well, I'll tell you things. Plus you over there, too. Okay. Well, last year I visited Birch's Garden, Adolf Hitler's Eagle's Nest hideout up in the Alps. And I walked there and I said into his house was, "Here I am, a Jew, in your house, schmuck, and there's nothing you can do about it." But when I was out on that big terrace, admiring the view of all the Alps, I thought, well, I hate to admit it, but this guy picked a great spot for a house. Maybe he just got one thing right in his life. There, I said it. I'm 91, and at least I can say whatever I want. Anyway, before I go to heaven, and I start telling Jewish jokes to all the wasps up there. One last song. I ain't 60, not a beauty queen, and my eyes are bagging, and my skin is sagging. That's the reason you don't love me. Maybe that's not love. I ain't 20 either, and I don't care neither, and I dye my hair, not just here, but there. That's the reason you don't love me. Maybe that's not love. If you don't think I rock, well, we ain't gonna roll. If you don't wanna pitch my tent, put away your pole. If you want a younger bottle, I wish you well, sweet pea. 'Cause if you can't see what I can do, you ain't banging me. Older ladies, who knows this? Older ladies, older ladies, we're divine. Well, my big old breasts droop from my chest, perked near down all the way to my nest. That's the reason you don't love me. Maybe that's not love. If you don't think I rock, well, we ain't gonna roll. If you don't find me tasty, don't eat my casserole. If you want a younger bottle, I wish you well, sweet pea. 'Cause if you can't see the bang I got, you ain't banging me. Everybody, let's go. Older lady. Come on, guys. Older ladies. Older ladies. Where'd you buy once more? A little louder. Older ladies. Older ladies. Older ladies. What are we? We're divine. Yeah. Well, thank you. Well, you're a great crowd here tonight. So thank you for coming through the rain and the subway or whatever else you had to do. So I'm going to give you an encore whether you want it or not. Hey, it's my fucking birthday! I don't want to build, no. Good times and bum times, I've seen them all, and my dear, I'm still here. Plush velvet sometimes just pretzels and beer, but I'm here. Danced in my scanties, paid my dues, strummed ukuleles, sung the blues, seen all my dreams disappear. But I'm here. Black sable one day, next day it goes into hawk. But I'm here. Top billing Monday, next time I'm touring in stock. But I'm here. Been called a pinko, Connie too. Got through at Stinko by my pool. I should have gone to an acting school. That seems clear. Still, nobody knew I was queer, and I'm here. Got through. Hey lady, Acha, who's it? What a looker you were! Or better yet, oh sorry, I thought you were who's it? Whatever happened to her? I've been through Reno, I've been through Beverly Hills, and I'm here. Reefers and vino, free love and birth control pills, and I'm here. I've run the gamut from A to Z. 3 cheers and damn it, c'est la vie. I got through all of last year, and I'm here. Lord knows I was there, and I'm here. I'm still here. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, darling. Thank you. I want to say thank you to Ed Mervyn, my pianist, Stephen Clark, my British-French writer, and Eric Kornfeld, my American writer. Thank you for braving the rain and everything. Thank you so much. Au revoir. Au revoir. Merci beaucoup. Thank you. Okay, I gotta get off now. I guess. Merci mille fois. Come again to Joe's Pub next year, 92. Ciao. I gotta be hulked up. I can't give that stick. Okay. Thank you, guys. Oh, miss you. Oh, wait. 100 people. That's right. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming. Thank you. Thank you. Au revoir. Au revoir. Bye-bye. Thank you, guys. All right, now he'll hold me down. Thanks. Okay, getting down is the hardest thing.